14 podcast. We are back. The weekend is over, and the Toronto Blue Jays have lost 5 straight series up to this point as they head to Baltimore. Avery, how are you doing, man?
Don't want to be that guy, but it's actually they haven't won a series in their last 6. They split in Philly. So
Okay. So 6 series without a win. Yeah, it's not great. Okay. It's not great. Not great what's happening right now in Blue Jays land. It's not I keep saying like I talked about it on Friday. I keep saying like, okay, this is rock bottom. I keep going like, all right, like this has to be rock bottom. And they just continue to one up themselves and be like, no, sir, this is rock bottom. So it's bad. It's actually really bad. I don't know where we go from here. 18 and 22, 40 games into the season. Have to win 72 games here to pretty much solidify a playoff spot. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. How was your weekend, man?
um besides watching baseball Saturday was awesome, but Friday kind of sucked. Today definitely sucked for a little bit. Some good things in all of the baseball, but it's a war out there on the timeline as well. It is not a place you want to be. I can't imagine your mentions, but my weekend was good. We went out Friday night to some, I don't even know where we went, but we paid like $20 each to get in.
No,
So
it was 13.
okay, 13 to get in. I'm like, where are we? It looked like some small place, and they said, okay, it's for the band. And there was a 10-piece Spanish band that didn't speak a lick of English, and it was
Oh,
the best thing we'd done in a long time.
it was like all Avery one of Avery's girlfriend's friend who is wifed up, who I love. Unfortunately, she's wifed up. Uh, recommended it, so we went obviously, and because Paris, Texas was an idiot zone. We
Yeah.
walked past Paris, Texas. There was a better chance I have good vision than going into Paris, Texas. We go into this place. Alto, who's a grizzled Toronto vet, was like, "All right, I know this place. This place kind of electric." Did I expect to walk into Mexico? Fuck no. It was unbelievable. We get there, they have literally like a full blown MLB roster on the stage. There was literally like 7 to 8 people on the stage, one with each different instrument. They are singing they're singing just like like a classic Mexican tunes, like Spanish tunes, probably. Uh, and they are playing bangers. I don't know what they're saying. I don't know what's going on, but they were playing bangers. We get there. Alto goes hero mode and orders 7 moonshine for everyone because I think we were 7 people. And so he's like, just sip the moonshine. I chug it. And after that, I was on another planet, like another planet. But the coolest thing about it was a good thing for me going there because every single person there was short as fuck. Like, there's a video of me on the dance floor, like I'm just salsaing with like random people, and I look like fucking Shaq. It was unbelievable. Like it was an all-time low-key bar, and it sucks now that they're not always Spanish music there because next time you go, they're going to be expecting that mariachi band electric vibes, and it's not even going to be anywhere near
It
it
was
because it's
if Charlie Montoyo was in a band playing his drums, that was the type of band. It was a special night, and that is true. I just thought it would be that type of music all the time. My girlfriend was like, "No, it's always different, but they always have a band." Good low key night. After we thought we were gonna get a win on Friday, but being in the city in the summer is fun, a lot of
oh,
fun.
dude, it makes you feel a little bit better about the team being just laugh out loud terrible right now. Just based on the fact that downtown Toronto in the summer is like one in a million. It truly is just simply unbelievable. It rocks.
I think there's something to be said. This isn't a hot take, but when you're in cold weather climates, when it finally gets hot outside and people just go batshit crazy, it's like we're spending time outside, we're doing whatever we want. Little hot boy summer, get out there. So I do like the vibes have changed in the city besides the baseball team and the hockey team and the basketball team
Yeah, just every sports in general, really.
and
Why
the
do we do
the
this to
football teams and
ourselves?
shit too because their
Yeah.
quarterbacks doing dumb stuff.
Yeah, he's a moron.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the vibes off the field are like whatever. Like we're starting to wear shorts outside now. It's not cold. It's like the winter tires are off the cars. It's great. And yesterday we had a great day as well. It was supposed to be a low key night with like I went out with Liv, Natalie,
Oh,
Curtis, and Jimmy. We're like, we'll just get one drink at Cherry's. That did not happen. I had plans of like just having a drink and then driving home. Curtis started being going hero more mode, ordered tequila shots. We go into Cherry's and we were with another group of people, so I will not name drop what happened. We are with this other group of people, and this guy goes outside to take a piss because the bathroom at Cherry's, if you've been to Cherry's, you know. If he goes outside to take a piss, and he doesn't walk far enough to go into an alleyway, he takes a piss like outside of an industrial building, and the bouncer sees him and the owner sees him and he tries to get back in and they're like, get the fuck out of here right now, you're not coming back in here. Like, were you raised on a barn? Just belittling him. And we're like, where's so and so? And they're like, yeah, he's not allowed back in here. People were talking about him being banned for life from Cherries.
really?
Like, that's what they were saying. Like, we were asking the girls we were with and they were like, yeah, they said he's banned for life. I was like, what the fuck? But a
How
picture of
how do you go about being banned for
I
life?
I always wonder that because my buddies in high school, this is another insane story. Uh, the McDonald's does like a turnover at like 12:30 every night where they change like the registers, the menus and stuff like that to switch it to breakfast. And once I think it was after prom. It's not really a buddy of mine, I guess, but he hopped over the counter and just stole muffins and just left because the machines were off and no one was working. So he just ran away. And the people that worked there who went to our high school said, like, yeah, he's banned for life. How do you go by that? Like, how do you ban someone for life from everything? Like, if
Yeah,
we got banned for life from a Blue Jays game, I guess because we're recognizable, but how would you approach that? Like, how do you ban someone for life, Avery?
yeah, because what was it? The guy who threw the cans at the O's team
Yes.
because he was banned for life, right? That was their thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can enforce that besides banning your IP from buying tickets online. And at that point, you might probably still had paper tickets where you could have gone up and bought them. Yeah, I think being banned for life is more of a warning shot than it is actually enforced.
If you are banned for life from something, let us know. Let us know below. I would love to hear. I would love to hear. I don't
I
know
want to know
how.
how it's enforced. I don't tell us what you did,
Yeah.
but I want to know if it's been enforced on you.
Like, for example, the guy that's quote unquote banned for life from Cherries, like, are they just going to have a picture of him in the staff room and just be like, you see this dude, you let us know. It's trespassing. It's like banana stuff. I would love the security footage of the guy doing it and then like the bouncer and like the owner just ripping into him. Call like they made him clean it up. They made him spray the piss on the door. I could have like I'll never do that. I know I get pretty banged up. I like how would you describe me as a drunk, Avery? A lot of people say like they can't really tell when I'm drunk usually. Like that's what like Natalie and Liv always say. They're like, I have no idea when Johnny's drunk.
Yeah, I think
Is
we're
am
we're kind of similar. It's
Yeah.
more we're gonna tell you how drunk we are because it's gonna be pretty similar to how we act normally. You'll just at the end of the night be like, "Oh, wow, that got out of hand." Yeah, pretty good, fun to go out with. But
Yeah.
that is a very funny story. I wish I was around for that one.
Like when they said, yeah, he's like essentially just banned for life. I was like, well, what do you mean?
Hadn't he bought merch from there too before? That'd be
Yeah.
so funny wearing the stuff you're banned for life from. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you're in
But
if you're in the comments here, you've been banned for life from something.
please
Let
let us know.
let us know how that's gone.
Yeah. It was cool to explore a different bar in the city, like go to an away game, as the kids say.
But yeah,
That
we
was cool,
had
but
some guy. We were sitting at a table before the night ended too, and a guy had put his bag down, and we were just hanging out there.
yeah.
And he looks at me. He's like, "Hey, sorry, can I grab his?" Like, yeah, of course. And he goes, "No fucking way. This is where my bag is." And it was just he just wanted to buy us drinks the whole time. I was like, "Man, don't need to buy us drinks right now." he,
He
he
was
was
fired up to
talk.
see Gate 14.
Yeah, he was pumped up. It was like maybe if you want to take a picture, we'll take one, but you definitely don't need to buy us drinks right
Yeah,
now.
we got a nice pick, and then I was like, listen, man, if I have another drink, I might die. It was at that point of the night. I walked home solo. It was just absolutely on another planet. But speaking about that, I know tons of people ask me about like, Johnny, where do you get your vintage Blue Jays shirts from and all of that? This is no free ads, but
You,
Kensington,
yeah,
well,
you
it's
don't
not.
need to give a street a free ad here.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, that's true. Kensington Market in Toronto, there is a street, like that street, just the entire street is full of vintage stores. I'm starting to budget myself and be a little more responsible with my money. Credit to me for figuring this out at 27 years old. Uh, I almost spent $600 on
Yeah.
vintage clothes.
Their prices aren't that good. They price the good stuff up there too.
Yeah, like my Jays vintage shirt that I wore yesterday was like $80,
Yeah.
rightfully so. It's like a 1991 vintage All-Star game t-shirt that looked like it was never worn ever. But Alto got an unreal Shania Twain one that's like her leg up. It's like it's incredible. Every shirt there is like I'm gonna go back on probably Thursday and just solo mission it
Yeah,
by
it's
myself
good.
on the
It's good
upside.
for you to like the night after you go out in the morning. There's a good breakfast sandwich shop there
Yeah, it's a
on that
small one, right? Really, really small.
Sleepy Pete's it's called
Yes.
on that street. Great,
Like the
great.
massive bun, like the massive like biscuits or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. That shit's good. It's on that street. It's a nice little walk in the morning after,
Yeah.
Sweat out a little
I'd
bit.
love to have a girlfriend and do it at some point. I really would. It'd be an
Yeah,
adorable thing. And Avery's taking full blown advantage of that.
yeah.
It's a nice little girlfriend walk. Is one, it's kind of a you activity because you like vintage clothes and you kind of can just look at like some of the old vintage like sports shirts and stuff, which are electric. And two, the like you can go for a nice call. I'm not a coffee guy, but you can eat breakfast and all that type of stuff with them and go for a
The
walk. So
bad thing about having the girlfriend is like after you drink, your ass got to be up by 9:30 or 10.
yeah,
You're not laying in bed till 1 like I like to do. So
yeah.
that's the one where yeah, it's a tough one, but a good girlfriend activity.
Yeah, if anyone has good looking sisters out there, just let me know. We'll approach it from there. But yeah, I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, Todd, you're not talking Blue Jays baseball. Do you want to talk Blue Jays baseball right now? Huh? Huh, motherfucker? What is there to talk about? Okay, this is six straight series with no wins, Avery. Like that is bananas. And I guess we could go into it. We were at the Friday game with Alto and Curtis, but going to Jays games with Alto and Curtis rock because you kind of see it from the perspective of like Curtis, who's not a massive, massive baseball guy, but he's starting to understand stuff now. Like yesterday, I had a cool moment with Curtis where I was explaining to him uh why Davis Schneider was slow running to second with a runner on third and two outs. Cause I was like, oh, Schneider's trying to bait them into throwing to second, getting a run down so the runner could score. And I was explaining that to him. It was like having a son.
Yeah,
It was
that
incredible.
it must have taken his brain a little bit to
Yeah, it
understand that
did.
one.
It did take his brain a little bit longer than expected to understand that. But yeah, the Friday game was just it was a tough watch. I thought they were going to pull the comeback together. They had three chances to come back this weekend. They came through on the game with the biggest margin, but Friday's game was just that. It sucks when you're in attendance because I know probably Friday I would have been like this stream would have been miserable, but Kikuchi pitched his dick to the nub, man.
Yeah, it was close. The game was close the whole
Yeah.
time. Kikuchi, he's special, man, how he's reinvented himself. It's every single time I'll say it's insane to watch him pitch, but it really is, man. The stuff is so good. He commands it pretty well now. Like
Yes.
the
No,
walks
there's
aren't
no walks. He had no walks.
yeah, the walks aren't an issue.
Yeah.
More to contact. The Minnesota Twins lineup construction is special what they can do to turn it over. Like
Yes.
Jose Miranda hitting fourth, I believe, against a left-hander, and then hits ninth against a righty the next day, and then doesn't play today. They can they can swap to have all left-handed lineup pretty much, or all right-handed lineup, and that's awesome to see that two different ones. But Kikuchi was against a mostly right-handed lineup and pitched to contact really well, got him really deep into the game, and the Jays had a ton of chances. There was second and third, none out in one of the innings where they went
No runs.
Schneider strikeout, Varsho missile to Santana, who was playing in,
Yeah.
who made the catch, and then the Vladdy swing to right. Sucks, man. What do you want this team to do?
It's still, again, I'm still clamoring on to I'm not going Wilner mode, it's early phase of it, but we know that somehow, some way they will win this series against the Baltimore Orioles, right? And pull us all the way back in. You got to think that, right, Avery?
Yeah, you get Corbin Burns tomorrow. On paper, it's the worst matchup you could ever have,
Yes.
but
Bradish on Tuesday.
I don't know if that means is John Means on Wednesday.
No, Cole Irvin
Yeah,
Wednesday. Yeah.
he's been pretty good too. They have no business beating the O's. Their offenses are playing different sports,
Oh,
and
easily.
the Orioles optimize their lineup for the most offensive output, and the Blue Jays don't seem to do that right now.
No, 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 no. John Schneider's having a war against runs. But he did listen to us Friday and lead off Davis Schneider, who again
He didn't
had
have,
that tough.
but he didn't have a choice. So I'm not going to give him credit for that move because
Wow,
George
critical
Springer was out.
Ave.
George Springer was out of the lineup for 2 games. He didn't do shit. The guy, like, if he made an actual tangible move, it would have changed today. So like,
There we go. Hashtag Negative Avery's back.
no. But we can't
Negative
give him
Avery.
credit for Friday and Saturday. George didn't play
Okay, so
because
you're
he was
saying that John Schneider did not shake up the lineup. Essentially, he just was forced his hand because George Springer.
pretty
I mean,
much is
we saw it today. He's too fucking stupid to pitch to lead off Davis Schneider when George Springer's healthy, right?
yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't think he didn't make the change that we wanted. He just was forced into putting Davis. He must have been sick penciling his name in the top of the
Oh
lineup Friday
yeah.
and Saturday.
Oh yeah. Do you think he screwed up the first time he wrote the lineup? He put Springer just force of habit,
Yeah,
and he's like, ah,
And then
shit.
Springer came to his office and said, "I can't go today."
No,
He's like,
I
"Oh,
think what he did is he screwed because I'm assuming you get one lineup card and you get because it has the teams and the players available. I'm assuming he wrote George Springer had to cross it out. He's like, ah, fuck, DeMarlo, give me another paper. I wrote Springer leadoff again.
no, they
Yeah,
don't have to write Springer leadoff. It's printed on the sheet. Everyone
no,
they
yeah,
print out. So that's the only one you don't need to pencil in because Springer's just printed out already to hit leadoff. That's why
yeah.
they don't want to change him. I don't think.
Yeah, it was Friday's game was like Yusei Kikuchi, and I think we talk about this fairly enough now. His numbers, if you take a massive deep dive into his numbers since the 2023 All-Star game, it is on par, if not better. We talked about this last podcast, than Kevin Gossman. Like this guy is solidifying himself as the best left-handed pitcher in the American League, maybe in baseball, top 5, man. Like, look at his numbers this year, Avery. It's bananas. He is 2-3. The dude is 2-3 with a 2.64 ERA, a 105 whip. He has only walked 9 hitters in 47 innings this year, which used to be a problem of his. This guy is going to get paid, paid this offseason. Paid. Left-handed pitching is impossible to find. And guys that throw 97 with command and great off-speed stuff are impossible to find.
Yeah, so he's going to be 33 going into this offseason. You think he gets a 4-year deal?
Probably 3, but it'll be like a very front-loaded heavy contract, like kind of the Jays one was, right? Where it's like 16, 16, 10 or 16, something like that. I think it'll be a very front-loaded contract. Probably the Dodgers will end up giving it to him at some point.
So he's probably the most obvious if this ends up going south, even
Yeah,
more than it is right now.
yeah.
He's the most obvious and Jano to go, right? Like receive the most assets for.
Listen, I don't think I don't think Ross Atkins. I think if Ross Atkins goes into rebuild mode at the deadline and essentially gives up, I think he's writing his own death wish. I think he's done.
Yes, I don't want them to do the rebuild. And when have they shown to
Be good at it.
trade off the pieces and
Well,
get minor league guys?
they've never shown to be good at rebuilding. This is the team that was a product of the rebuild
Yes.
from
Correct.
2017, and they have 0 playoff wins since then.
0 playoff wins, an ass farm system,
Yeah.
and a team that don't know what they're doing with it. So this is brother, this feels like the worst possible spot to be in
Oh, it's right now. This is
because
we're
we're at a
in.
firm crossroads
Well,
with
yeah, it's
Vladdy
like
next year up as a free agent after next season, Bo free agent after next season, Bassett free agent after next season. They're different. That Bassett's different than Bo and Guerrero, but it is a either you find a way to make this team compete next season, or what are we doing? There's like I don't this team doesn't feel built to win a World Series this year. Injuries a part of it, slow starts, your three best players below league average ISOs.
I don't think we throw Vladdy in that mix for not performing anymore. I think Vladdy has shown it over too long period of a time now this year season. I think he is performing better than the other two guys. I would
Sure.
not lump Vladdy in with Springer and Bo right now. I don't think you can.
In general,
Yeah.
the guys who preseason were going to have the most at bats because you penciled them in 1, 2, 3 in the lineup
Yeah.
as a group haven't done well enough. And we're not changing anything. There doesn't feel like a good spot for us to go to. Can this team go on a run with how their pitching is? For sure. Should George Springer and Bo Bichette be better? For sure. I just don't know what I want them to do. Because if this goes poorly, if this is a fourth place AL East finish, if it's a fifth place AL East finish, which I mean, the division's really good again. Surprise, the AL East is
Yeah.
decent.
Shocker. Now all of a sudden the Red Sox are the best pitching staff in the history of the major leagues. Uh I don't know where I'm at, Avery, but again, it delusional me keeps thinking like in September we could be looking back on May 12th when they were 12 and 18 or 12 and 22 or 18 and 22 and be like, "My god, did we is this a completely different baseball team?"
Yeah. And
They have the
that's all that we
rotation to do
want.
it.
That's all we want is to be able to say, oh, how bad was the first 2 months of the season? Imagine watching that. And then things are turned around. They make the playoffs.
Because last year, Avery, we were saying the opposite. At this point of the year, I have a tweet saying this is the most special Toronto Blue Jays team of my lifetime. It could flip on a dime, dude. That's baseball. That's
100%.
ball.
That's why you can't give up on things. The John Schneider needs to get fired. The lineup construction, it being a mix of people being put together, it's still I think it could change. Like, let's be honest. I'm not ready to fire people because the lineup's bad. Everyone seems bad at making lineups. Every team is going to complain where one person's hitting in their lineup. It's just, I think that's how baseball works, and being a baseball fan is. John Schneider should get at least to the White Sox 2 series. Now the White Sox have won 4 straight games. They're figuring it out, but I think you need to get to some of the softer part of the schedule. They've had one of the hardest schedules so far this season. And again, like you said last episode, somehow they have one of the hardest schedules remaining. It doesn't get easier for this team. If you're going to get unlucky for a full season, it'll suck, but I think you just got to keep wearing it right now, man. There's not a change where you fire John Schneider where it's not Ross and Mark giving up on what they've built.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good talking point. But I obviously I know I know teams and fan bases complain about the roster construction, but I don't think there has been a more obvious what are we doing here than having George Springer in the leadoff. I think that's something that separates what we're complaining about with what other fan bases are complaining about. This guy is just not serious right now at the plate. I love George Springer. I love him. He was one of the first big time names to sign in the Toronto Blue Jays. I pissed my pants when he signed here in front of thousands of people. I don't know how you could justify having this guy in leadoff just solely without saying his career. That's it. That's all you have to hold on it because nothing backs it up. No stats on the planet, no analytics back up having George Springer in the leadoff spot, getting the most at bats for a team that is struggling offensively. It does not make sense.
I've almost I've come into a stupid idea where I want Vladdy leading off and David Schneider hitting second.
Vladdy's at bats are more of a leadoff hitter now.
There he has slug to him. He has power. His exit velos are insane. His 90th percentile exit velos are ones at the top of the league. But he's hitting singles right now. He's getting on base at a great rate during this hot streak he's on. Would you even call it a hot streak? It's just like it looks like normal Vlad.
This
And
is the best
he's
version
hitting
we've seen of
singles.
Vlad
And
in a while.
Davis slugs for more than Vlad does at this point. That's not a surprise. It's what the stats would tell you as well. It's like let Vladdy get on first and Davis try and hit a double because it's the other way around. It's Davis on second, Vladdy hits a single. I don't know. Stupid little idea. Maybe change things up. But Vladdy should be getting close to the most at bats, which he's been doing. Like
Yes.
he's been on an awesome little roll here. Davis, him going 0 on Friday after everyone bitched and complained for him to be leadoff was just such a classic baseball thing.
And then he
Where,
raked on Saturday, 3 for
yeah,
5.
no, yeah, exactly.
You should have seen my mentions when Davis went 0 on Friday. Everyone was blaming me, like, "Oh, I told you Davis Schneider is better when he hits in the 7 hole. He's more comfortable." Like, shut the hell up. Those dudes have never played baseball that talk like that. Do you think a guy just like, "Oh man, I really want to stay in the 7 hole. I love the 7 hole. I love hitting in the 7 hole. I love getting the least amount of at bats. It's unreal."
Yeah,
Just shut up. That's
he
not
came,
what guys think.
and he came up in some big spots that I don't think George comes through in
Yeah.
yesterday to lead
Yeah.
that comeback win. It seems like the most obvious thing, and now I'm starting to want Elvis Martinez on the ball club.
Who do you take bats away from there?
I
Cavan?
don't I don't know who I want to take at bats from. We just need some upside here.
Or Elvis is like his stats are insane right now.
Crazy. The team is lacking upside, I believe.
Yeah.
Davis
Yeah.
helps it, and I think Orelvis can help it too. IKF has been awesome,
Unreal.
unreal. But if you put Orelvis in IKF, well, I don't think he's going to play third base. Orelvis might not even have a position because
Yeah.
they don't like where he plays defensively, kind of the Barger thing as well.
Yeah.
I think the upside would help the team, and that is the fun part of a rebuild, where you want to see what some of those guys can do. Like Paul Maggiani is top of AAA baseball in damage per batted ball attempt. Do you want it? That is the fun we can have. Everything is just clogged right now in the lineup.
With the
So
old guys, right? Like the IKF, the Kiermaier.
yeah, it's clogged with those people. So there, I would like rebuilding sucks unless you have some light at the end of the tunnel. The
But this
Baltimore,
prospect system's so bad.
yeah, I know. It's dude, it wouldn't be a 1 year rebuild, that's for sure. There's some turnover that needs to happen if they're
Yeah.
going to do that. I don't think that's what they're going to do.
No.
I think this team is better than they are playing.
Yes. And that's not going to sell seats, unfortunately.
No,
For
it's going to be nice.
Rogers.
It will be nice for us to go to some cheaper games in July, though.
Yes. It'll be nice, but that is not going to sell seats in a stadium where you're going to have to make the money back
Do you
from all the
think?
rebuilds.
Do you think you can pin this on John Schneider? Anything?
I think a voice in a locker room definitely plays a factor in it. I think I I don't know. I'm not gonna 100% pin it on John Schneider. I just think if I'm a player on this team and I'm hitting like Davis and I've earned a spot to be able to hit in this leadoff spot, and the only time I get it is because George Springer's sick, I'm definitely kind of pissed about it for sure.
Yeah, I think the starting pitchers would have a good grasp on that if we ever asked any of them too, right? Like how the
Yeah.
clubhouse feels about things going on. But then I think about Alex Cora winning World Series, and then he leads the Red Sox to finish last place. You get how much does a voice in the locker room? Because at one point he was a good voice in the locker room. It's the same voice, and the team's just shitty because they have worse players. It's where I fight back on some of that too.
Yeah.
I can just run circles in my own head, which sucks. I would like to just stand up, just get really, really angry at some point here
Because
soon.
Friday was the start of played a big chunk in the rebuild talk. Like everyone was like, yeah, like we should probably rebuild here. And you can have that take if you want. Um, and you can
I'm
have like
I'm
sure.
not there yet. It's gonna take
Yeah.
a lot for me to get there.
Yeah, probably at least a month and a half. 2 months where I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, now it's time to blow this son of a bitch up. Yeah. Uh Aaron Sanchez pitched Friday. That was funny.
How did the Bisons win that game?
Because they bang. They rake the Buffalo Bisons. We should become a Buffalo Bisons pod, man. They
We
rake. They are insane. Do the Buffalo Bisons offense head to head beat the Blue Jays offense? I truly think they do.
That's like Bama and any of the NFL teams that were bad.
I don't
Same.
think it is though. It's obviously still pro guys. I think the Buffalo Bisons offense would give the Jays a run for their money.
Okay.
They're a wagon. They can hit.
I saw Servant had a 1400 OPS in AAA.
That league is just I don't know. Either the pitchers are getting worse or the hitters are just insane in AAA just because the comfortability factor. I don't know what it is, but
It's not even
it is
hot in Buffalo yet.
the numbers are bananas for these AAA guys. Aaron Sanchez got shelled. And I know it was his first start. They kind of rushed him back, like reside him, and you're thrown into the ringer on Friday. Right, a start immediately, eat some innings, 4 innings, 6 runs. I think that we can kind of close the book on that dream being a thing, Avery. I hate to say it. I don't think
Yeah,
Aaron
yeah.
Sanchez will start for the Toronto Blue Jays.
No, I don't think so either. He is way down the list of people I would like to see start for this team if it
Yeah.
comes to that.
Do you think he knows
He had
that
what?
too?
One swing and miss, right? You said?
Yeah. He threw 66 pitches and he had one swing and miss. That's impressively bad.
Yeah.
Avery would get a swing and a miss in AAA.
I might get one swing and a miss on 100 pitches. Yeah.
Exactly. Just
Um,
insane.
he was there. He's there to eat innings, and they desperately needed him to do that. So they will run him out there every day they need him, and they will take that start if they find a win to win or they find a way to win games, and they'll
Yeah.
just come back and win. Incredible that they won that game, down 7-0 almost immediately, right?
Yeah.
And they won that game. Cam Eden hit a grand slam in that game. Johnny,
Yeah,
you're about to
that's
tell.
it's not real. It's I refuse to believe it's real that the hitting down there. Yeah, you saw it. I don't know. It's a crazy league, and I wish I played in Buffalo. I don't know how my numbers would have been, but it would have been incredible stuff. But we can go into the game of the weekend. Saturday, Toronto Blue Jays go down 7-1. The takes are flying on Twitter.
Ugh.
Like Gossman's washed, uh, season over, offense will roll over. Rightfully so. That was like 40 something games the Jays have been down two before that point, going into the eighth and ninth inning, and they've never won. So I do get the aspect of the Jays not being able to come back.
No,
But
the Jays hadn't come back from a 3-run deficit in a game since the All-Star break of last season.
yep, great stat. Great stat. But they did it yesterday. Kevin Gossman gets roughed around. You have the Davis Schneider error in left, which sucked, which was a tough start to that part of the game. And then Bo Bichette, bottom of the second, that home run rocked. He pimped the shit out of it. Pretty much essentially was saying, like, fuck this after he hit it, which was cool. And then Jay's kind of claw back there. It was like, I believe that made it 4-1.
Yeah,
And
then
then
Santana homered again.
Santana homered again, which he did in every game this series. I am so tired of Carlos Santana. If I'm the Jays, I just sign him and just let him rot in AAA every offseason. Just take him away. Do
Him,
not play
you
him.
give Mountcastle a couple $100 million to sit in AAA.
Yeah.
Get those guys off the fucking field.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do. So then the Jays start kind of clawing back here a little bit, man. In the fourth, they were down 8-3, and they just keep hitting doubles. Like homer, like Schneider homers, Jano homers, which rocked, by the way. That Jano home run was incredible. Vladimir Guerrero single. Like, they start clawing back, and we're sitting in our chair, like me, Curtis, and Jimmy. I'm like, oh, are they actually going to do this thing? Are they actually going to do this thing? And right when they tied it up 8-8, Avery, I think you tweeted it, like, you had to win this game.
Yeah, that was gonna be a kick in the dick. This is the most you've done in a year, and that became a must-win game once they tied it.
Yes.
They had all the momentum, a good shift back, but at that point it was a must-win game, and thank God they won.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Ernie Clement hits the bases loaded single, which rocked. Being in attendance for that, that was incredible stuff from the Earn Dog. But the Jays win that and have tons of momentum heading into Sunday. What were your thoughts after that game, Avery? Because I know you tweeted it was like you got to take this into Sunday, right? Like this could be a potential start of the World Series DVD turning of the guards. The season is back on type of game, and that's exactly what I thought it was. To be honest with you,
So think about when you played, like when we were in college and we played a late night win the day before, and then you go back to the dorms, you hang out with your boys, and then you're there for the Sunday game, early as fuck, getaway for the other team.
yeah.
And you're hitting BP early, and just the vibes are great. Immediately, vibes are great. I wanted them to build on that win so bad. Um, and then you put out the lineup that Bailey Ober struck out a career high against today.
Like everyone in this lineup today, from
So
top to
yeah,
finish,
Davis Schneider leading off on Saturday, 7 total bases and a stolen base, and he
three for
scored.
four. Davis Schneider went.
And he scored
Varsho
three.
1 for 3. Vladdy 4 for 5. Jano 3 for 5. Everyone had a hit in this lineup besides Justin Turner, who we are gonna have a talk about in a little bit here with
Yeah.
Justin Turner.
So
But
George Springer scored 13 runs this year. Davis scored 3 of them in his first game as a leadoff hitter, or in his second game as a leadoff hitter.
Jesus Christ.
So you got to be on base to get in.
And George just doesn't provide that right now.
He is not providing that right now. But the Saturday lineup was so fun, and like Jano in there. I wanted to rebuttal on how bad the lineup was today because I worked my way around this one as well. That maybe you want to beat the Orioles more than you want to beat the Twins because they're in the division to make up games. I think you're probably going more against the Twins for a wild card spot and the Guardians for a wild card spot than you are the Orioles to make up games on. So I was like, my thinking was you keep Jano out. He's been in for a couple days. Catching's hard, man. And
Yeah.
then you have Kirk behind the dish to steal strikes for Alec because you think he needs them if he struggles with control. And then Jano's in for all three against the Orioles with an off day after. That's where I went with the lineup. And it just happened to be shitty. And the game went exactly how you thought it would go pregame once you saw the lineup and got disappointed by it.
Yeah, and I talked about guys that didn't get a hit yesterday's game after the Jays scored 10, and one of them is Justin Turner. Justin Turner's last 15 games have been really bad. His last 7 have been really, really bad, Avery. Justin Turner in his last 7 games is hitting 100 with an 100 slug and a 129 on base percentage. His last 15 games, he's hitting 193 with a 207 on base and a 316 slugging. Justin Turner has really cooled down, like a night and day compared to what we saw from him 3 weeks ago. It's been insane, the fall off of Justin Turner right now. I can't believe it. It's so different. Like the at bats are way different. The swings are way different. The approach looks way different. It's insane.
Yeah, he's been doing his at bat recently. Just feels like he's gonna top a ball
The
to the
third.
shorts, to the shortstop or to third.
Yeah.
That's how all the at bats have been recently. I have to think that people are pitching him up with velo now. But if you look at his numbers overall, weighted runs created plus 111, and last year it was 114. I think he might just get hot and cold. Like it's
Yeah.
something
Just ride
something.
the ebbs and flows of the season. It's just when he's cold, he's really, really cold. And when he's hot, he's buzzing.
Yeah.
Like he's on the loose. So it's a tough mix. It's a tough mix, but he's a very streaky hitter.
Yeah,
Right.
so far we hope it goes in streaks because if this sticks, it's not gonna be that fun. And he's getting more off days because he struggled so much.
Yeah.
He was a don't take out of the lineup guy to begin with.
And
Uh
now he is take
yeah,
out of the lineup. Yeah.
struggling recently, that's for sure. I'm gonna look into how he's being pitched differently. I think like fastball percentages, and
Yeah.
I'll go through that tonight and do some charts maybe.
Yeah. That makes sense. But other than that, though, that game rocked. You thought the changing of the oh my God, they figured things out. Like this was rock bottom. They're down 7-1-1. Like the Undertaker meme. They came up, and then next thing you know, John Schneider pencils in George Springer, who is back from being sick into the leadoff spot because contractual obligation. I don't fucking know. Puts him into the leadoff spot, and George Springer goes 0 for today. Toronto Blue Jays get 2 hits, and they lose to Bailey Ober and the Minnesota Twins in pretty much dog walked fashion. Alek Manoah is incredible. Like, was incredible, Avery. Unbelievable.
That was one of the more fun games I've watched as a pitcher because of what your mind has been tainted now to think bad things are going to happen when Alex on the mound, right?
Yeah.
We get through 6 innings. He's thrown 10 pitches, it felt like, after 6 innings. And it's, oh, should we be taking Alec out here so it doesn't blow up in his face? He was so fun to watch today, man. That is the Cy Young vote getter that we know. And he pitched a lot differently. He had a full mile an hour more velocity, and he threw his most used secondary pitch was a changeup. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. If you so a slider makes sense to a left-hander, works in on the barrel instead of away from. So if he wants to pitch out, misses middle, it works into the barrel of left-handers, into left-handers, and that I guess they're thinking that's easier for them to hit. I think it is too. That it's a classic thing. You don't go into lefties to try and stay away from most of them. So he today went change up to a mostly left-handed heavy lineup, and the changeup looked really good. He only gave up, let's see, a average exit velocity on the changeup of 88 miles an hour. He had 4 whiffs on 14 swings for a 30% whiff rate on that pitch. The slider got a lot of whiffs as well. Or sorry, good whiff percentage at 38, but he pitched differently. They weren't able to jump on him like some of the other teams were. So Alec was really, really good today, and very exciting to see because you have to have the lowest of expectations after what we've seen over the last year.
It's just like seeing him on the mound again, motherfuck the other team when he's striking guys out, like saying, "Yes, you swung. Yeah, he swung," and then just celebrating and the jumping off the mound, the location of the slider. Uh, it gave me chills, like 2022 chills, seeing him fired up again and looking good on the mound. It was unbelievable to see it against one of the best lineups in baseball in the last 3 weeks in the Minnesota Twins, like one of the best hitting lineups. So it is just bananas like how many different versions of Alek Manoah there is. There is the version like we saw in Washington where he just got hit around, was hanging fastball or leaving fastballs up, getting hit around. And then there's also versions of this guy could win a Cy Young someday with how good he was. And that's what we saw today. It was insane. 3 runs not earned. Ernie should have those balls. I'm sure Ernie will be the first to tell you that. It was a tough day today for Ernie.
Yeah,
First 2 errors of the season for Ernie Clement. But at the end of the day, the lineup scored 0 runs. Like, that's the only thing you can kind of just pick it back to.
we got one. We got one today.
Oh, one, sorry. But either way, though, it's still, I don't consider that scoring runs.
No, they got 2 hits, John.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, at the end of the day, what happens? They go 0-0 in extras or 1-1-1. Like, it's, I don't know, man. It's just blaming Ernie, who has been nothing but spectacular at third base for this team, is bananas. And people are quick to forget Ernie Clement yesterday, or literally yesterday, hit the winning single to win the game, like to make it 9-8. It's just how quick this fan base forgets. You know,
It's every fan base. It's baseball. It's what have you
yeah,
done for me? He played shitty defense today.
yeah,
I don't expect that to continue on.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's like today sucked, man. Bailey Ober is the tallest freak athlete of all time. He has 99th percentile extension, so he releases the ball as close to the plate as like anyone in baseball, and he throws high fastballs. That's what you should do. The ball never goes down, and it's tough to hit that too. So good for him. He had a game plan and he executed, man. It was yeah, I would like to take a step back and watch what he did today because it was a pretty special start, to be honest,
A lot of
against the
high
team.
fastballs.
Yeah.
That's what
Dude,
he
it
was.
makes sense. Think about the tallest person you've ever seen throwing a ball that's at your chest the whole time. It's probably out of the zone, and you just never have a chance to make contact with it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you right there. It was
But I don't
Bailey
want,
Ober.
but if at some point, if every opposing pitcher is having their best game of the season against your team, your offense just fucking sucks. It's kind of where I feel we're at.
I unfortunately have to agree with you on that.
If
It
you're
wasn't
the
great.
reason they're having all of their career best outings, got to look in the
We're
mirror.
the get right team.
Yes, we are. Unfortunately,
We're the girl you call or guy you call at 3 a.m. when you didn't pick up anyone at the bar.
yeah,
Old faithful, just to get back on the track of things. That's what the Toronto Blue Jays are right now.
yeah.
It
That's
sucks.
exactly it, man.
Today's game was bad. I mean, Swanee not being able to hold the lead when they were up down 3-1, gave up 2 runs there. Just tons of bad stuff besides outside of the Alek Manoah. Like your
Can we talk about Alek Manoah's outfit today?
Oh, one of the worst outfits I've ever seen. I don't know what this new trend is with the pants, the rolling up of the pants and showing knee with like the under armor under it. I'm not sure I'm a fan of it, Avery.
I So I was trying to tell this to you too. Everyone's done it, but you just never notice it because they wear the tights under that are same color as their socks. So their knees are covered with same color tights as socks, so you don't notice.
Yeah.
But everyone still does it. Bo's been doing it forever. George does it as well. Alec doing it is pretty funny as a bigger guy. You think he would just rock the normal pants,
Yeah.
but the mismatched colors, it makes it a much tougher look. It's really bad.
Oh,
And then the cornrows, it is kind of
he
I
better
was
keep those.
I was all in on those after a little bit. I just thought as a whole, him the pitcher swag on that was very low, but then he started shoving, and then I totally changed my tune. It's like, okay, this shit rocks. Out in the glove, man, Alec was awesome today. So Blue Jays, after he had ruined the team for a year based on his starts and how those were going, and the team had to battle. They did the opposite. They quit on Alec today, and they didn't
Yeah.
do anything.
Sad. Sad, really. Sad, really. You
Did you
hate to see
like
it.
the blue hats with the jerseys? First time we'd
Oh,
ever
I
seen
love
that.
them.
I just kind of liked it too.
Yeah, I love them. I thought they were sick. I hate the baby blue hats they wear. I hate them.
Yeah,
I think they're ugly as shit,
I'd
to
agree
be
with
honest
that.
with you.
I thought it looked pretty good as well, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. I did like it. But other than that, though, it was just again, Toronto Blue Jays lose a series. One game they looked like the greatest team on turf, and then the other two, they were the worst offensive team I've ever seen. So just terrible, terrible stuff that we've had to watch, and it's been hard covering this team this year. I'll be honest. It's last year they were at least winning games when they couldn't hit either. Like they won 89 games. Like this, they're just not doing that at all right now. They're losing every game. So
No, on
it's
pace
tough.
for 73 wins.
So I
That it?
don't remember. It's something bad. Something really bad. But other than that though, Avery, you got any listener questions?
Oh, I always forget to do this. I'm sure the listener questions are good because they usually are what we've talked about as well. So yeah, 45, not as many. Um, okay. We talk about John Shire need to be removed, but this isn't entirely his fault. When do the higher ups start taking accountability?
At some point they have to.
If they
I
take
mean, if they
accountability and this team sucks, they're fired.
yeah, exactly. Like if they say, "All right, we suck," then it's I don't know if I even, to be honest with you, trust Ross Atkins for a rebuild at this point. This farm system is so bad.
Yep.
So bad.
At what point is the season officially in danger? You can be 100 games in at 500 and go off on a run. That's the beautiful thing about baseball. You just
Yeah.
have to stay in striking distance.
Yeah. And they're not doing a good job of that though right now.
No, but as long as we're 3, 4 games out of a spot, 5 games out of a spot, we're okay. We can chill a little bit because they are playing the worst baseball anyone had ever seen.
Yeah. Need to
Will the
go on a
Jays?
run.
Yeah, will the Jays ever win a series again?
No. Not sure.
Could Alejandro Kirk throw out Alejandro Kirk?
Oh, easily.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think Alejandro Kirk I think his arm is actually the numbers for his arm are not bad. I think it's the pitcher's deliveries that have been screwing him over, correct?
I think in baseball in general, pitchers' deliveries ruin stolen base stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they just take too long to get to the plate. You don't have a chance. You steal, you get your jump off a pitcher, not off a catcher. So sometimes you steal on catchers, but I don't think at the major league level you're stealing on that many catchers. It kind
I
of
would love TJ stats to get us uh the numbers of which team's pitchers are the slowest to the plate, like combined.
yes, that is tough to find. A website has them, but
Yeah.
the years are off. Tim wants to know, has the team missed their window? Yeah. He thought that the White Sox had a similar window, and what is worse, admitting that the window is closed with a group of MLB players that are on the team, or trying to force a possibility of a playoff spot that does not really exist.
I think we've said ton of it this year. The window is this year. It's this year. Uh it's a harsh reality, but the Toronto Blue Jays are on year 4 of the Vladdy and Bo era, right? I know they're still young, right?
It's got to be
But you're
five.
on
It's got to be fifth year, right?
fifth, year 5, I guess, technically then. And you have 0 playoff wins to show for it. You've spent tons and tons of money to make this team better, and really nothing has happened. Like, you haven't done anything. So I think if this year is an unmitigated disaster, like let's say they don't make the playoffs, I think it's the window is donezo. We're on to 2026 at that point. Like, just playing absolute bums in 2025, to be honest. I think this is the window, and we've heard all of that this offseason, where it's like, now the time is now where we have to make noise.
Yeah. Do we think that Shapiro and Atkins will be around to make the final decision on Bo and Vladdy's contracts?
I would assume so, right?
I think he's just saying, like, are they going to be around after this season?
I would assume so.
All
I
right.
don't know if it's the right decision, but I would assume so.
Yeah, what do you think Kikuchi's trade value is going to be at the deadline? Pretty high, I would think, but I want him
Oh,
on my
probably the highest on this team.
I want him on my ball club. Yeah, highest on the team that's probably getting traded this offseason. Getting catchers at the deadline is it's got to be really tough, right? Trying to
I've
handle a
never
whole
seen it,
it happens, but
but like
it
a big one?
I think it's kind of tough to do. Like
Yeah.
knowing all the pitchers, calling games for guys you don't know anything about. So I think Jano's less on that side. Um, yeah, everyone's why is he the manager? Is it time to panic? Since they rely so much on the computer to make decisions, has anybody thought about restarting the computer? I've Analytics is a word that has broken Blue Jays fans on
Yeah,
Twitter.
Avery. Analytics does not tell you to lead off George Springer and move down Davis Schneider. Analytics does not tell you to put Daniel Vogel back in the lineup. Analytics does not tell you to change a lineup the day after you scored 10 runs. For the people that are Ken Reeds of the world, the morons that are saying analytics are the reason why this Jays lineup is bad today, or analytics this, analytics that. Analytics only gives you data to support why something makes sense or why you should do something. It does not tell you to do something stupid like lead off George Springer. So for the people blaming analytics, you just have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You literally have no idea. And this is coming from the dumbest idiot who literally hates numbers.
We've
It's
we've
just it's
got
a
we've gotten you to find important numbers that can support some of your arguments.
Yes, but
We
the
we
people
found that.
blaming analytics is just stupid because it's not. It's not that.
Yeah, you are you are correct with that. Another one will be our last one. A lot of them are the same today. Um, Pitching to a guy who we should have walked. I do want to touch on how that happened. Uh, there was a chance to put on Carlos Santana for Alek Manoah in the seventh inning, and Christian Vasquez was going to be up next. I don't think Ryan Jeffers is just going to pinch hit for Christian
Yes,
Vasquez in that spot. If he was available, I don't listen with, I didn't know if he was
he
available
was
or
going to though.
uh,
Apparently,
Ryan Jeffers has been the best hitter in baseball against right-handed pitching, like top 10 to start this season. You were either going to get Carlos Santana or you were going to get one of the best hitters right now in baseball to come up next. He hit a home run on a pitch that was 2 balls off the plate, got his barrel to it. Either way, it was going to be a tough at bat. And in a game that was close, or it was tied 0-0, was it not?
Yeah.
In a game that was tied 0-0, I don't think you want to put another person on and keep that happening. The Twins have a great bench, man. They are so deep. So I did not have any problems throwing to Carlos Santana there.
It's fair. It's fair. But anyways, that series is ranked a D for me. D minus.
Okay,
I
I give that series 1 out of 5 stars.
Okay. Yeah. Send it back to the chef.
But you got a full 1 star game on Saturday and some negative star games in the other one.
Yeah. Some bad stuff. But I guess we can go into the series preview for this week. First time facing the Orioles this year,
Oh,
aka
yeah.
the best team in the American League. The Orioles come into this series at 26-13. Imagine being 26-13.
Yeah, did they not lose
Imagine.
their last 2 games as well? Oh
Last
no,
one.
they won yesterday. Damn.
Yeah. Uh,
God, look at these guys go. I'm just scrolling through
Lineup.
just their wins, just their schedule.
Jose Barrios, Corbin Burns, Chris Bassett, Kyle Bradish, and Kikuchi versus Irvin. The best pitcher this series the Jays will see, in my opinion, is Kyle Bradish, who is or I guess not. He has a 1.93 ERA, but it's only 9 innings. He's looked great this year, though, Kyle Bradish. Uh, Jays lose this series 2 out of 3.
Yeah, it is going to be insane. Gate 14 after dark on Wednesday if they get swept in this series. I don't feel good about this, man.
I
How
don't either.
yeah, how can we positive in going into this one? I think they lose 2 of 3 for sure.
This is a varsity team facing a JV team right now.
And they're so good against left-handed pitching. So the faith I have in Kikuchi doesn't go out the window, but he's in for a tough matchup on Wednesday at 12:35. Like, are you fucking
Yeah,
serious with that game time, dude?
it's things aren't looking. This is going to be a tough series, and this series will show you essentially what the standard is. The standard is for a good baseball team. This is what this team is from top to bottom. Ali Rutschman's unbelievable. Gunnar Henderson is insane. Cedric Mullins at the bottom of the order is good. This is a good team that I'll always envy because of how incredible and how fun
And
they are to watch.
they have a full prospect team just sitting in the minors as well. That's
Yeah.
insane. Basallo, whatever it is. Um, Holidays in the minors. Kobe Mayo still in the minors. Um, Enrique Bradfield Jr. is still down there. They've got things figured out, dude.
Oh, easily. And they have an ownership group that is now willing to spend money.
That's the insane part.
So, that's the vibes going into this series, folks. Not really much else to say. You're facing the best team in the American League East by a long margin, I think, in my opinion. Just a special club. So we will be streaming these games, except Wednesday, obviously. But buckle up, enjoy the potential of what could happen. And thank you to everyone that tuned in and called in to Gate 14 After Dark. I'm assuming this one will be a little bit more animated. If the Jays go to lose their 7th series in a row, or 8th series in a row. And we'll go from 7th, I guess, 7. And we'll go from there. But love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment, leave a review, support the boys. We're grinding our dicks off again. Fuck that company. And we'll go from there. Anything else before we head into Hell Week, as the kids would say, because we got the Rays coming up as well?
Oh yeah, fuck. Let's make baseball fun again somehow. I don't know what it's gonna take. It's been tough on the mentals recently watching that. So hoping for brighter days. It would start with a nice series win in Baltimore. That would be big.
Yes. See you guys. Have a great week.